الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيده. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي بجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد الصادق الأمين المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما وفقهنا إذا علمتنا. Page number 49, the second hadith regarding the mothers of believers. It goes: قرأت على عمي الإمام العالم الصائن أبي الحسن هبة الله بن الحسن الشافعي رضي الله عنه في سنة 63 و500. وأخبرنا عمي الحافظ رحمه الله أيضا قال: أخبرنا الشريف النسير أبو القاسم علي بن أبي الحسين بن أبي الحسن الحسيني في سنة 7 و500. قال: قرأت على والدي قلت له: أخبركم أبو عبد الله الحسين بن عبد الله بن محمد بن أبي كامل الأطرابلسي إجازة. أخبرنا خيثمة بن سليمان بن حيدرة القرشي حدث إسحاق الدبري عن عبد الرزاق عن معمر بن جريج عن هشام بن عروة عن أبيه عن عبد الله بن جعفر بن علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه عليه السلام قال: سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول: خير النساء مريم بنت عمران وخير النساء خديجة بنت خويلد عليهما السلام.
I read to my uncle, the scholar Abu.
Not necessary to have the whole chain translated because we are going to have the same name. Let's translate for only the text, of the Prophet. Or you may mention the companion, before it.
Okay. Abdullah ibn Ja'far, that Ali ibn Abi Talib, rahimahullah, said that he heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, the best of its women is Maryam bint Imran, and the best of its women is Khadija bint Khuwaylid, peace be upon them both.
Yes, this go for this hadith before. As mentioned in the Holy Quran, you see many or all of these prophetic statements, they relate themselves, to the Holy Quran. And here you read in the Holy Quran that the best woman is Sayyidah Maryam, the mother of Sayyidina Isa, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya Maryam, Ya Maryam, inna Allah astafaki wa taharaki wa astafaki ala nisa'i al-alamin. Okay, and here in this hadith, which is, I think, a sound or authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ showed that in her time, Sayyidah Maryam was the best among all women, and in the time of Sayyidah Khadija was the best among all women. Okay, in another sound hadith, the Prophet ﷺ showed the four women who are the best among all women, and he named two from the previous nations, namely Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh, and Sayyidah Maryam, and he mentioned two of his family, Sayyidah Khadija and her daughter Sayyidah Fatima radiallahu anha ajma'in. So this just to give you an idea about who are the best. Okay, when we speak about the best among women, especially for the women's side, this is going to make for anyone among the women who she is interested, in achieving something, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to read about one of these four women, or the one we have highlighted, or one of the mothers of believers, Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, and try to practice the same practice, mimic that thing, To be thorough in this life, as mentioned in some books of adab, in Arabic, you have heads in everything. You have heads in being with nice characters, heads of religious people, heads of bad people, heads of bad practitioners. The rest of the humankind, and we have a huge number of them nowadays, they are followers. okay? They hear, they listen, they try to learn, okay? And they are going to follow, most of them, they are going to follow the stream. The problem that we have nowadays, that what the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Islamu bada'a ghariban wa sayaudu ghariban. Islam is strange, It's not the stream nowadays, okay? So we as Muslims to have certain protective measurement for ourselves, and then to apply this to the others. And I see the significant role of women, in our houses, that to keep my children, to keep my environment as Islamic, this is not, I'm sorry to tell you, in our time it's not built on the male side, It's built more on the female side, because they are the first keepers, of the house. And they are the first responsible for the house. And this responsibility was given to them, even from the Prophet ﷺ when he said, وَالْمَرْأَةُ رَعِيَّةٌ فِي بَيْتِ زَوْجِهَا وَهِيَ مَسْئُولَةٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهَا. So here, as I said, the stream for me, this is my look, I may have a dark look, the stream is not good for me. I don't accept it, for myself. I don't accept it for my children. I don't accept it for anyone that I love, a lot. Okay. So, if you are not interested in that particular stream, the best model for the woman, to follow one of those who has been highlighted by the Prophet ﷺ as the best woman ever. Okay. For the males, again, you may have in other sessions, you may have to speak, about some high models, among the males, which start, by our beloved Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرَ. Sorry, I thought this is a letter or something, then it has some questions, inside. We'll try to answer these questions, before going further. The first question, Maria al-Qibtiyya, was she a wife of the Prophet? No, she was not one of the wives, okay? She used to be slave woman, okay? And then the Prophet ﷺ, not only her, all slaves under his position, they were freed before his death, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, okay? And she had the son from the Prophet ﷺ through this relation, not just through the marital relation that we may assume. This is perhaps not well understood among us because we don't have this practice nowadays, But the Prophet ﷺ has two of these women, one is called Maria al-Qibtiyya and the other one called Rayhana bin Zayd al-Quradiyya, and both of them, they were not wives of the Prophet ﷺ. The wives, they still 11, as mentioned in the second question, because there is no mention of her in the book, okay? They are going to mention in the book the others, We have 2 or 3 of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. They were slaves, in certain point of time, and then the Prophet ﷺ freed them and make them wives, of his sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He gave, according to some narration, all of these, they are narrations, okay? According to some narration, he did give the choice to Rayhana if she wants to be as slave woman or as wife of his sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she chose to be slave woman, not a wife of him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's what we read, about her. I'm not quite sure that I know if Sayyidah Maria was given the same choice, from him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Again, you had mentioned that the Prophet had 11 wives. Did not they have 12? We see this is one of the controversial points, in our Islamic studies, about the number of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. The most accepted and the most famous one, that he has 11 wives, not 12, neither more or less, okay? They were 11. And at the same time, he did not have more than 9 wives, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is for those who maybe may sound weird or strange for them. You read it in Quran, إِلَّا عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُمْ. Okay? Just go back and search for this verse, in Surah Al-Mu'minun and in Surah Al-Ma'arij, and see the real meaning of it, And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did say, not anyone else, that you may have this relation through the wife or through mulk al-yamin. We'll move to next hadith, number 3. أخبرنا أستاذ الإمام قطب الدين حجة الإسلام أبو المعالي مسعود بن محمد بن مسعود أخبرنا الشيخ أبو محمد عبد الجبار بيهقي أخبرنا أبو بكر الحافظ بيهقي. This is a famous scholar al-Bayhaqi that we mentioned, Abu Bakr al-Bayhaqi. أخبرنا أبو عبد الله الحافظ. Again, this is the famous scholar al-Hakim. His book is Mustadrak, but here he has narration. وأبو سعيد بن أبي عمر وقال حدثنا أبو العباس محمد بن يعقوب حدثنا أحمد بن عبد الجبار حدثنا يونس بن بكير عن هشام بن عروة عن أبيه عن عائشة رضي الله عنها قالت ما غرت على امرأة لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما غرت على خديجة مما كنت أسمع من ذكري لها وما تزوجني إلا بعد موتها ب3 سنين ولقد أمره ربه أن يبشرها ببيت في الجنة من قصب لا نصب فيه ولا صخب. وزاد البخاري في صحيحه أنه كان يذبح الشاة ويهدي منها لصدائق خديجة.
The mother of believers, Sayyidah Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, I was not jealous about any of the wives of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as I was about Khadija because of how I used to hear him speak about her, although he married me 3 years after she died. His Lord commanded him to give her the good news of a house of hallowed pearl in a garden in which there is no fatigue or clamor.
Again, this is to tell us about the stage or the place of Sayyidah Khadija in the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because for us perhaps it's almost impossible to have someone jealous of someone who passed away. And here in the time of Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha, she has 8 different women, yet she was much more jealous of Sayyidah Khadija who passed away. And this is an indirect way to tell you about the place, the position of Sayyidah Khadija, and how the Prophet ﷺ never forget those who were good with him ﷺ in this life and in the hereafter. Okay, really, this experience, I don't know how to address it, but up till now, anyone who show or bring to the Prophet ﷺ something good is going to find a unique and significant response in this life, not in the hereafter. I'm quite confident and sure. This way of, this habitual way of him sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was not only during that time, during his blessed life, it has the continuity till the hereafter. And this is derived from the attitude of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whenever anyone do something good, for sure, when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are not going to give any benefit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when you do something good for yourself or for the others, you are going to find the result right. We may say right now because it's in this life, and that this life is quite short, when you compare it with other stages that we ran through, it's one of the shortest one, in this life, and it's a matter of confidence, matter of knowledge, matter of loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, this has been mentioned in the Holy Hadith, about fornicating woman, when she gave some water, to the dog, in an area when it was too thirsty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave him. You see, here, as I said before, we are incapable of reaching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and give something good for him, but we are quite capable, and in charge in benefiting each other, The maximum benefit that we may give to each other when we tell others, or tell everyone else, about our way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Muslims, we have significant treasure, in our hands, We should firstly know the value of it. Secondly, we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it. And thirdly, we should have the others, share this treasure with us, This treasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not similar to the dunya treasure. Why? Because in this life, whenever you have a treasure, you give your children, you give this, you give that, it's going to be gone away, Whereas in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala standards, whenever you spend from the treasure from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is going to get more and more. Okay? You are going to have much more benefit, And that's why, please, if you take this message from me, we should be beneficial to each other. This is what what part of the concentration I concentrate on is when. Let me be thorough about it. When we meet with each other, when we sit with each other, besides when you have a guest, at home, or you have someone riding your car or whatever, okay, I look at it as that person has rights on you. And you should fulfill these rights, And this is taken from the description given to the Prophet ﷺ. يَحْسَبُ جَلِيسُ أَنَّ لَيْسَ أَحَدًا أَكْرَمَ عَلَيْهِ. This is part of the prophetic tradition, okay, that the person sitting next to him or with him, is going to feel that he is the best, one, or the most beloved one, to the Prophet ﷺ. I'm sorry to tell you, nowadays we declare that we are free. We may do whatever we want to, okay? I'm going to put my legs, like this, This may hurt the feeling of some people, I don't care about this, okay? I like to have this type of food, I don't care about the other. I like to have the heat, on this degree. I'm not going to listen to it. You see, you got this point, yani. This experience, I observe it, all over the place, of people, they don't care, they don't feel the responsibility for the others, and this is completely against the prophetic tradition in that regard. This is my feeling. I hope, I beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help me, to give everyone his right, because personally now, I feel whenever you have someone sitting with you, someone joining you, someone speaking with them, someone has any relation with you, this is as a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see how you are going to react upon, okay? And that's why, this was significant portion when the Prophet ﷺ gave nasiha to Sayyidina Abu Dharr and Sayyidina Muaz ibn Jabal. Both of them, they were about to leave the Prophet ﷺ, and they seek the advice from him ﷺ. And one of his advice, or part of his advice was, وَخَالِقِ النَّاسَ بِخُلُقٍ حَسَنٍ. Okay? For sure, as a person, I'm not going to be in touch in all human. Okay, firstly, I'm limited to my time. Then, not everyone in my time I'm going to sit with him or speak with him. I have limited people. These people that I'm limited with, we should look at them as a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala testing you by these people around you. Okay, these people around you, not necessary to have all of them, as good. You may have some of them good, some of them bad, really bad. Okay, some of them may have Alzheimer. Some of them they may be educational-wise less than you, money-wise less than you. Especially when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed you, like your parents, or someone else, to put your wings down, for them, you should do it. Okay, regardless of those physical measurements that we look at in this life, education, money, smartness, intellectual matters, or whatever, this is different story. Okay, here you are facing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are dealing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not with these people. That's why the Muslim, when he has this look, those relations between him and the other, they are going to last forever, whereas the others is not going to last forever. Okay, myself, I was strong, now I'm weaker, much weaker. some of the people, they may be quite beautiful, now they are not as beautiful as before. There are some of them, they were intellectual, now they are not as smart as before, and you name it, These changes, when it happened to ourselves, is not going to affect our relation. Why? Because I deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't deal with this so and so person. Okay? And this is part of the prophetic tradition. Here, Sayyidah Khadija radiallahu anha, one of the greatest lady, or one of the greatest lady, okay, when she passed away, still the Prophet ﷺ has some reaction toward her, toward whatever related to her, to the extent that makes Sayyidah Aisha jealous of her. Okay? When you speak in materialistic matter, that woman is gone away. I don't care about anything, or whatever. Whereas this is completely against what the Prophet behavior, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that, and we are all, without exception, we are entitled, to follow the steps of the Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then the second point here about date, really I love those ahadith, especially the authentic ones speaking about date. And here it confirmed to me what it is in mind, that the Prophet ﷺ had contract or aqd nikah with Sayyidah Sauda and Sayyidah Aisha after the death of Sayyidah Khadija, and he got married. The wedding or the consummation of Sayyidah Aisha was after 3 years. You take it from that particular authentic hadith. Okay, I'm going to be thorough with you in this matter. That the ahadith, in our view, they have the superiority even over the seerah, on the transmission, how they were transmitted. Okay, that's why when you have such an authentic hadith narrated by Imam Bukhari, because he mentioned here that it's in Bukhari, okay, this is going to make you much more confident about what you have said, And the others, you may have it as a possibility. Then you see, and I told you about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to the people, right away. As Imam Ibn Ata'Allah said in his hikam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to just promise you to have it in the hereafter. The answer, the response from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be right away in this life. Okay? And here, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Sayyidah Khadija was about to die, the good news that he gave her, that she is going to have a house in the heaven with sakina, without noises here or there, okay? And you see, I feel it, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, that whatever she had made it available for the Prophet ﷺ this time, to have the sakina in his house, to have significant relief of everything, that he may face or suffer or have difficulty about or hardship.